When you guys were in here and realized that there's not enough like it?
I'm not gonna lie, we kind of really in the third quarter I started peeking at the scoreboard a little bit. So we obviously coming in the game out of your hands. All you can do is really just take care of your game. I thought Lane Johnson said it really well before the game. Don't worry about anything else. Just play for each other. This is our last game. Make sure it's one that you can be proud of, and that we play for each other, and that's what we try to go do.
Was it hard here? Just realizing you guys it was more of a relief thing.
I mean, we didn't pop champagne bottles or anything, but obviously, this is everything we need to have happen. And now, we're going to get a chance. And, we get a chance to play against a really good team in Chicago. They've been great all year. Tremendous defense, especially defensive line. So especially for us up front, it's going to be we're going to have to perform well.
What was the last 3 hours like? Just knowing you guys got to win, and we need someone else to come through. Just to experience that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it sounds, it's hard from the outsider, but when you're playing the game, it really does a good job of distracting. For the most part, especially when it was still a competitive game, you're in it, you're just playing football just like you are every single week. Because at that point, all you can do is try and focus on your game and win that game. So from that perspective, it really wasn't any different. It really got different in the third quarter once we kind of had the win pretty much secured. And that's when you start looking at the scoreboard, and very rarely do you ever kind of pay attention to that.
Everybody knows that the Eagles fans travel well, but there was something about today. The way they just took over FedEx, knowing you were shut out. What you just talked about today is a little different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I guess it's different just because it's an in-division game, I guess maybe. And Washington usually has a pretty solid showing, but these fans are the best traveling fans in the NFL. I'm pretty sure they've done some stories and reports on that before. But we've had games in LA where we had home games. I mean, there's no doubt, I think, in anybody's mind. We knew that we were going to be using our home cadence coming into the game. We knew that just on the ticket sales alone, that this was going to be a heavily Philadelphia crowd. So I would say that I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, this is the way Phillies fans are, for sure.
Probably kind of helped us watch a little bit hearing the crowd. They were doing great cheers.
Yeah, it made it fun for sure. I mean, obviously, even though we couldn't clinch at home in front of our own, in front of our crowd at the link, we still got the clinch in front of the home crowd here in FedEx Field for sure.
Do you think you guys are a dangerous team?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we're playing really good football right now, and once you get into the playoffs, really any team's dangerous. You got to have respect for every opponent you play with. All these teams have had great seasons. All of these teams have persevered through some sort of challenges throughout the season. So, I feel like we have great talent. We have great coaches. We're playing really good football right now. We're playing for one another. It's definitely been some momentum here the second half of this season. So, I feel good, but obviously, we got our hands full in Chicago.
You're talking about perseverance, and this NFL season is such a grind. Can you feel for the Redskins? 24 guys on injured reserve. I mean, it's just a brutal league.
We got our fair share of injured reserve guys as well. So I don't want to give them any excuses.
I'm just talking about the brutalness of an NFL season.
I mean, that's why it's. I mean, kudos to. And that's why Howie Roseman, Joe Douglas, all the personnel people, the coaches that assess that stuff. That's where you got to have good depth. You have to have quality players, reserve players that can go out there and get the job done. It's not good enough to just have a good starter in this league and a dominant player, because the moment that guy goes down, somebody is going to go down in the NFL. Obviously we've had our fair share this year. Washington's had their fair share. We've just had guys really step up, just like it was last year. I mean, you look at the DBs. I don't know how many DBs we've lost. I think we got one starter in Malcolm that was there at the beginning of the year, maybe. So I think, and they've been playing, it seems like they've been playing some of the best football in the last few weeks. whether that's the defensive line or the opponents or the scheme, I don't know. But whatever they're doing, hopefully they keep it up here, and hopefully offensively we can keep it up because right now we're doing some good things.
Jason, Doug said after that Saints loss it could have gone one way or the other, but he kind of credited the leaders for setting the tone and keeping everyone together. What was sort of important during that time to reel all 5 of 6 in?
The Saints game was certainly demoralizing. That was one of the, outside of maybe Green Bay a few years ago, I haven't been a part of too many losses like that in Philadelphia. We've been pretty competitive in every single game we play usually. So that was a very frustrating game to say the least. But, obviously you take away that one outlier of a game, and we haven't lost the game by more than a touchdown, I think. Maybe I'm mistaken by that. So all these games are one score different. We know early on a lot of it was very self-inflicted penalties, missed assignments, things like that would just seem to kill us offensively. Defensively, for whatever, I don't know what they're doing different. You'd have to ask them, but it seems like they've certainly found their groove. We're putting them in a better situation offensively a lot of the times right now in the second half of the season. So I think it was easy to, even though that Saints game was a tough one, it's easy to look at the rest of the season and still know that we have tremendous talent, we have great coaches. I think we had good leadership and good older guys that, there wasn't really, I didn't see this ever going downhill, if that's what.
Was there anything that, has helped let me turn this around? Can you point to one thing that you felt like? Remember, you made a long talk with you the one time.
Yeah, I think that's we talked about. Obviously that made a lot of headlines, I guess, when I was at my chair talking about it. But I think that if you really look at it, I think that we're much more accountable. We're much more guys have found their roles. I think that it's a combination of people executing more, coaches putting guys in situations that are beneficial to their skill sets. It's guys embracing these roles that the coaches are putting them in. It's so many. It's never just one thing, and it's not like we were tremendously far off. I think that's just a false narrative, quite honestly. I think that we've been in every single game. The reality is all of these games that we've lost are 2 or 3 plays here or there, and we have a win. 2 or 3 plays here or there, we're 12-4 and looking at a bye. I think that all that stuff correlates, and obviously it didn't go that way, and we've made the improvements. We've continued to get better, and that's kind of what the goal was all season long. One game at a time, just kind of get better every single day, try and improve. Obviously, we didn't start the season off, and the way we wanted. We wish we would have done and had a better record. But I do think if you look at the course of the season, we have gotten better. There's no question about that, and that's quite frankly all you can ask for.
It seems like that adversity from last year kind of helped you guys kind of have kind of a matter-of-fact approach to getting ready for this playoff run this year. Would you say that's the case?
I don't know. I think that we definitely are a resilient team. There's no doubt about it. We were resilient last year. We've been resilient this year. I think that we have good coaches. We have good players. We have players that have played in this league for a long time. They're good leaders that I think have been through the ups and the downs. So they're more level-headed and know that that's just part of the game. So I don't know if last year has that impact or if that's just kind of the makeup of the entire team, and that's why we did it last year as well.
Jason, you guys were celebrating, I know, at the end of the Bears-Vikings game, but it seemed like you guys quickly calmed down, everything got settled, and you guys have really kind of turned the page. Is that the way that you would sum things up already? You guys are already moving on to the next thing?
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know if we're playing on Sunday or Saturday yet, but that's one of the things I talked about last year when we won the Super Bowl. What did it feel like to go on that run? When you're in it, you don't really have time to appreciate it. You're on to the next game if you're focused. So obviously everybody's really happy that things went our way and whatnot, but we got a tough Bears defense, and it ain't getting any easier from here on out. So we'll be looking forward to the next game. We're happy to still be in it, obviously, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Can you just talk a little bit about the